Welcome to the postgame show presented by the Maroon Club, enhancing 23 Division I sports. Join the Maroon Club today, and the player of the game presented by Coca-Cola. Experience the Coke side of life. A disappointing victory tonight. Mike Jordan certainly wanted this one against his alma mater, but the Leopards played well. Here's Renee Washington.
Put TJ back in the game. He doesn't play hard enough.
Coach, I'll start with you. A tough overtime loss. You guys are still talking it over here after the game happens. Talk to me about that overtime period and the difference between winning that game and losing it.
Honestly, they made shots, and we turned it over a couple times. And on defense, we didn't communicate, and we gave up, layups off back screens. So, again, we just got to do a better job at, again, communicating, talking out things. If we're going to switch, then let's switch. If we're not switching, then, we just got to do a better job at communicating. And, we can't give up layups, and we can't turn the ball over.
Yeah, and this one hurts as you're talking through about some changes that could have been the difference. But what do you take away from a game like this and what you saw?
Our guys fought. You know what I mean? They played hard for most of the game. We have lulls, and again, hopefully we learn from this. But our guys play hard, and I think they are learning how hard it is to win. It's very hard to win. Winning's not easy. If it was, everybody would be undefeated. It's really hard, and again, it comes down to the details. A check out here, pick up a loose ball there, be in the right position, and those are the things that win or lose you the game. The small things that nobody ever thinks about.
Some inspirational words even after you lose. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks,
good luck the rest of the season. And CJ, hearing Coach just talking about some of the adjustments that you guys had to make on the court, what did you see in the final stretch of that game?
Yeah, I mean, stuff like they execute their stuff really well on offense, so we had to make a few adjustments. And once we did that, we slowed them down a little bit, but just little lapses, like he said, during the game just cost us in the end.
And then you guys are a young team. You're taking your early season lumps. You're learning along the way. What have you noticed about this group, now that you're 6 games in?
We're right there. It's just small margins between winning and losing. We're a young team, so we're still learning, but guys are buying in. We know that it's just a lot of fixable things that we can control, so we're taking the positives out of it, but we gotta find a way to win games as well.
Thank you. Good luck the rest of the way.
Okay, Renee, thank you very much. Job well done tonight on the sidelines. Well, John, it's going to be hard to take a highlight package of what was a long game, certainly a well-fought game, and a lot of highlights. So let's see what the guys have narrowed it down to. Here's John with those highlights.
Well, Gary, when you have two coaches, two teams that are that familiar with one another, this kind of stuff's going to happen. Leo O'Boyle, as we mentioned before, got Lafayette off to a fiery start. I mean, I think it was 9-0 before Jordan Dingle hit a couple. There's Kyle Jenkins chipping in from downtown, and Lafayette came out on a roll. There's Dingle's first 3 of the game. That followed 3 foul shots, so they were pretty tough. Around the bucket, I was really impressed with a couple of Penn players, in particular that young man right there, number 22, Lucas Monroe, and then, boy, Spinoza was just so tough inside. Can't go under screens against Dingle. He can just light it up. I thought Jonah Charles did a nice job. There's Josh Rivera, Lafayette's freshman. You go underneath against C.J. Fulton, and he'll burn you. He had a standout game tonight, our Coca-Cola player of the game. How about John Brantley? He has been sidelined all year long. One of our starters from last year really seems to be adapting well to Mike Jordan. There's a great bounce pass backdoor from Moshkovich to Jordan Dingle. Penn started executing its offense a lot better in the second half. There's Brantley again, and boy, Moshkovich was so tough in the second half. When Dingle was quiet, Moshkovich was on fire. Here's a step back by Brantley. He got himself into a zone and actually got Lafayette back into this thing. The dribble drive and the kick back, and there you knew Brantley was going to be on fire. He's like shooting the ball into a hula hoop. There's a nice little lob pass, the catch and finish from Moshkovich. Schlackert then gets called for a foul over the back. There was a 6-point lead. This was a backbreaker right here. Lafayette played good defense. Nobody blocked out Moshkovich, and he finished. And then in the overtime period, of course, Jordan Dingle with 4 quick points, actually 5 quick points. It was that layup, then that 3, then he went to the foul line. Schlackert then dribble drive. Second leading scorer, had a quiet night for Penn. C.J. Fulton doing what he does best, scoring all kinds of ways, but it was too little too late. Having said all that, Gary, I have to tell you, this Penn team, is really good. They've got some talent. And Lafayette, under a new coach in a new system, I think experienced some real growth tonight.
It's a matter of both teams playing very, very tough early schedule to make themselves better in their own league. And certainly these kind of games will do that. You take a look at the shooting percentage. Lafayette down a little bit. Rebounds down a bit. Points in the paint really hurt. And that's kind of been a theme through every one of Lafayette's losses.
Yeah, if they have a weakness right now, of course, the loss of Neil Quinn through the transfer portal. I thought Justin Vanderbaum did a nice job for us, adequate, but physically, he's a long, lanky player. He's not necessarily a physical kind of player. I thought Penn's inside people were so strong. They were really tough. That's where they had an advantage tonight. But I'm not so sure that Lafayette is going to see a better defensive team once they get into the Patriot League. And for that reason, this was a big game for the Leopards tonight.
You look at the numbers. O'Boyle had 16, 12 for C.J. Fulton, and 13 for John Brantley. All Brantley's points, by the way, in the second half. Otherwise, they spread it out. I think one of Mike Jordan's toughest jobs will be who to play and who not to play. I mean, everybody that came on the floor tonight gave you some positive things out there.
Well, good teams, and again, I go back to Penn, an established winner in the Ivy League and beyond. When guys are buying in like that, it doesn't matter. You can go 9 or 10 deep because I think Ryan Zambi is a good case in point. Brantley was ready to go when his number was called. So it just doesn't matter when everybody's on the same page and they understand how the coach wants you to play. It doesn't matter because guys are going to get their minutes.
No question about it. That will do it as Penn will go to 2-4, Lafayette 1-5. Final score: Penn 74, Lafayette 68. In overtime. John and I wish all of you and all of our viewers a very, very happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you after we stuff ourselves, you stuff yourself, and we'll be back with some more college basketball very shortly. For now, that's it for John Sabino and the television team at LSN. We thank you so much for watching. I'm Gary Laubach. Good night, everybody.